Welcome, our dear viewers, to yet another episode of The Vicar's Wife. This show is so much dedicated to women who stand by their husbands in ministry. In our previous episode, we had a guest who taught us with a lot of words of wisdom, which were golden. So in case you missed that episode, on our YouTube channel, you can go there and check it out. And today's episode, we have a lady that the first time I met and I got to know her, I thought she was the wife of the president by then, or she owned one of the biggest complexes in town. Today we have Pastor Rita Mabirizi. She's married to Pastor Robert Mabirizi, and they both lead Christ at Ministries Church in Mukono. She is a mother of two, very dedicated to her family. And today we know that we are going to explore more of how her passion for her family has brought her to this place of being a pastor's wife, how she has balanced her life, being a pastor's wife and doing an entrepreneur part of it, being a mother of two. So welcome with me, Pastor Rita Mabirizi. You are welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Vicky. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to have you on the show today.
Thank you. The pleasure is all mine.
Okay. Who is Pastor Rita Mabirizi? Someone who sees you, someone who doesn't know. Who is she?
Who is she? Who am I? Well, my name is Ritah Mabirizi. I'm a wife. I'm a Christian, born-again Christian. I'm passionate about swimming.
Okay, interesting.
I'm also a swimmer. Not only my kids are swimmers. I think most of you know that my kids are swimmers.
Yes,
but
you've seen that.
Yeah, but I'm also a swimmer. Actually, my husband is also a swimmer.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a family of swimmers.
Yeah, maybe a family of swimmers.
Wow.
I'm someone who is dedicated. When I'm dedicated to something, you will see results.
Okay.
I'm a dedicated person. My yes is a yes, and my no is a no. There is no in between there. I'm an entrepreneur. I am a businesswoman, per se.
Yes.
Yeah. Generally, if I summarize myself, I'm also a mother.
You're a mother.
Yeah.
A mother of lovely two kids.
Yes.
I have enjoyed seeing the videos that you've shared of your daughter. Thank you so much for the impact you've done in their lives.
You're welcome.
You know, when the Bible tells us to train our children in the way they should follow, I think you've really done a great impact in their lives. So
thank you.
And now you are in ministry. Tell us about your journey into ministry.
My journey into ministry, I think it starts when I got born again. I was in senior 1 into senior 2 at Lubiri SS. We had a scripture union. That's where I got born again from. And immediately after getting born again, I think it didn't take me a year to become a leader. For some reason, I've been a leader all my life.
Wow.
From senior 2 all through A-level, campus, where I've been a leader all my life. Yeah. So those young ages trained me on how to deal with people. They were training me on how to be a leader. So by the time I became a minister at Christ Heart, I think in Christ Heart, I started as an usher.
Interesting.
Yeah, I started as an usher. I joined ministry, Christ Heart, at an interesting time. We were at the peak, at the peak of everything.
Wow.
That's how I joined. I think it was around 2013.
Interesting.
2013 there, when Christ Heart was booming.
Wow.
For those that remember those years, they were really great years. And I became an usher. That's how I entered into ministry, an usher. But then, since we were too many, people were really fighting to lead, for men of God to see them that they're actually doing something and serving. And I'm not that person. I don't know how to prove myself that I'm doing something. If I'm doing something, that something should shout for me. So I realized that where can I do my job freely, whether I'm noticed or not? So I crossed to my main job was in ushering ministry. I crossed to washing toilets.
Wow.
So I was in charge of the toilets, and then I was also in charge of the wrappers that we use to cover people during when they are slaying. Yeah.
Yes.
So I was also in charge of that thing. I'm actually among the people who introduced those wrappers.
Interesting.
With Mama Teddy and I think Pastor Damba. We were among those people, and I was in charge of washing them and ironing them. Most of you just see those clothes.
We don't know the genesis.
We don't know the genesis.
Interesting.
But yeah, we realized that church needed them. We went and vetted for them, and then I was in charge of washing them, ironing them, and bringing them back to church, clean and tidy. And then the believers would enjoy that bit. So in ushering, I was there for some good years. And then one of those days when I was still doing ushering, Bishop calls me, I think at the pulpit. He was like, I need to see you in my office. I was like, what did I do? Because I was undercover. Those people were undercover. And when I went to his office, was like, you know what? I no longer see you in ushering. It's like, okay. So anyway, you see me. He was like, you join the prayer department. So I joined the prayer department.
Wow.
But then, I think around 2016 there, the church went into a split. I just joined the prayer department, and then our prayer leader then had left us in a group for some reason. He just left with some people, with all the people, and I was a new person there, and I was just left there. I didn't know what to do. I just left ushering, and then I'm in this department, and I don't know what to do. And the leader is not communicating, and the leader is also gone with everybody.
Wow.
So in the middle of confusion there, that's when again, Bishop on the pulpit, when he was preaching, he was like, I feel the Lord is telling me something about two people here. He mentioned my name. He called me out, and then he called Stella Tibira out, who is now a wife. Stella Tibira Ibuku. He called us out, and then he started prophesying into our lives, and also telling us what the Lord has instructed him to do. And then he told us, I want to quote his words, but then he said, I feel the Lord telling me that he knows you by your name, and he's calling you to the ministry of altar at the altar. That's now I'm entering into ministry step by step. And then he ordained us, he prayed for us, like, you go research and find out what that means. I had never heard of such a ministry that you're working at the altar of the Lord. I went and searched scriptures. When I the scriptures of altars, when you search out the scriptures, especially in the Old Testament, the Lord can even kill you at that moment when you mess with his altar. Yeah. He is so sacred and so serious about the altar of the Lord. So as I was still serving there, and I think I remember Joyo, I was really concentrating on the altar of the Lord there, and not concentrating on the men who serve at the altar. That's when Joyo questions me, hey, my dear, you don't just attend to the altar of the Lord, but you also attend to the men who serve at the altar.
Interesting.
So that's how I cross now to Bishop's office for some reason. So most of you have maybe known me into Bishop's office. Yeah. So how I come into ministry of being a pastor's wife, in between there, serving into ushering, and then the altar of the Lord, and then ushering bishop, and then I got married in between there.
Okay, first wait, hold on. So you are now into ministry.
Yes.
And along the way, you are now in Bishop's office.
Yes.
It's a huge office to serve in.
Yes, it is.
And you get married.
Yes.
So at this point of getting married to the man you are married to, is Pastor Robert Mabirizi, was it ever in your plans of, I am ready to get married, or where do you now see marriage coming in? Because you are given an office of serving at the altar. So marriage comes in. At what point is it now that you feel, okay, now I am ready for this part?
I'm ready for this part. As a young girl, I always knew what I wanted. At least the Lord rescued me from the world at an early age. So from the around senior 1, senior 2, senior 3, we were really trained into scripture union on the expectations of a Christian woman. So I had already been trained on what I expect in a husband. When do you date? When do you do this and the other? So in a husband that I needed, unfortunately or fortunately, he wasn't he wasn't in my church.
Okay.
He was praying at a different church. But then through the trainings that we had received over and over, I knew that it's a wife. It's actually a woman supposed to go to the man's church. But at that particular point, I had introduced him to our church and different conferences, events of the church. He was already attending.
Were you dating at that point?
No, he was really my friend. He has been
friend.
my friend for the longest time. I think for over 20-something years.
Wow.
Yes, for over 20-something years. He was my friend. So when he proposed that we date, I told him, actually, at our church, this is what we do. Before you date, I take you to my pastor to see you, and we give accountability. We don't date in what?
In secret.
In secret. It was like, hey, I love this church. I love this church.
Yes.
Like, okay, you take me. So we had already discussed, when do you want to get married? When do you think? He had his plans. Yeah. But his plans were not, I'm getting married first, and then I build a house. No, his plans were, I'm going to first work properly, build a house. After building a house, I marry you. So I was like, no problem, because I didn't want to challenge his plans. I'm someone who doesn't want to sell myself solo, to look solo or desperate. When especially I know that there's someone who can fight my battles. One of the battles that Bishop fought for me was that one. So I took him to Bishop. He repeated his plans. So Mzee was like, hey, my daughter is looking at you like this. So you're going to do all those things. My daughter is looking at you.
And waiting.
And waiting for you. What if you build the house and put somebody else? Yet you kept her waiting. My dear, marry my daughter if you're serious about this. Marry my daughter and get into building a house. And in fact, when you marry, you will even build faster. And then the houses will build. You always have to, you improve and improve, improve and improve. But I would recommend that you marry, and then you can build after. You can build that. I was like, hey, okay. That's when we set the date. We had no idea. We had no idea at all. That's when he tells me, tell your people that I'm coming. I was like, hadn't really planned for this. But then again, here we are. So that's how we embarked on now starting the journey of marriage. But then one keynote, I asked him, because I knew in my heart of hearts, okay, I didn't want to really move, but I wanted to hear his say in this. What usually happens with the women, usually the mistake that we make, we go with this attitude. Me, I'm not moving.
I'm not going to your church.
I'm not going to your church. If you're not coming, I'm not coming anywhere. That is a very bad attitude. That's why we usually even lose the battles. I just told them.
Man just goes and says, let me get another woman.
Yeah, you can't just start with the attitude on the man. So what I told him, me, I had already done my background, everything. I had introduced him to my church. I had introduced him to most of the people. I had introduced him. He had grown to like even the church by himself. So when I asked him that question, because I threw the ball into his court again. We are getting married. I'm someone who believes that a couple should pray in the same church and believe the same message. I don't want to be fasting, you guys are feasting.
Interesting.
I don't want to be, we are in some kind of, for you are in some kind of, that thing slips into marriages, whether you like it or not, and also cause confusion when you have children.
Yes.
So I'm not a person of confusion. We draw the lines as immediate as possible. So I told him, where do you think we are going to pray from? Is it my church? Is it your church? I was like, I think we are going to go with your church.
Wow.
He gave me his reasons. Yeah, this and the other. But I think I feel comfortable with your church. You're grounded on everything, in the word, in the worship, in the almost everything. It ticked and ticked. My church is okay, but what I really enjoy there is mainly worship, which is just not enough for a believer. So that's how we joined my church.
Interesting. You know, from what you're saying, I was dating someone before getting married to my husband, and the part of the church where you get married to and serve after you're married is really key. And the person I was dating wasn't born again. He was praying from an Anglican church, and back then I'd gotten born again. I'd joined ministry.
Yes.
And when this guy started talking, proposing marriage, it occurred to me that we are not on the same plane. So I had to bring in those questions of, when we get married, so where are we going to be praying from? He's like, you can go to your church, I remain in my church. Like, oh, how possible is that going to be? Then I progressed, asked him, so when we have children, you know, women, we tend to think ahead. And it's like, our children will decide when they grow up. So for me, it was actually a red flag to stop and, you know, and I had to actually end the relationship, move into a new ministry and serve God. And that's where my husband met me. So now that you are into marriage talks, you are married with your husband, at what point in time does he now come into ministry, into the pastoral position, and you being the pastor's wife?
Oh yeah, I remember when he joined the ministry, he joined into ushering.
The very way you began.
Yes. So
ushering it's an interesting
yes.
Seeing many people start from ushering and progressing to other places in ministry, it has been a blessing to see.
Yes, he joined ushering, and suddenly he was at the altar.
Interesting.
He was put at the altar. He was ushering the men of God. He was keeping the altar.
The very journeys that you took.
Yes, he was at the altar. He was, and it didn't take long. Meanwhile, I remember we got married in 2016, like September, and he got ordained as a minister. He was just separated as a minister in 2016 again, towards the end there.
Okay.
He was just a minister. That's how his journey now starts. And then the following year, we are joined as pastors.
Wow. Now you're pastor's wife.
Yes.
How were you able to get into all that, accepting the position of being a pastor's wife, because it's now a life that you entered? Initially, you weren't a pastor's wife, and now you're a pastor's wife. It's a different ministry and call altogether. So how did you transition into all that?
Did we even have that time to think through of transitioning? I don't think that we had, we even were given time to think. When Mzee says something, you pray about it like later, you first.
You understand the position
later. Like later, chikusangayo, yeah? You know them close, Lord, help me. Lord, help me. Most of the time we've been learning on the job. I wouldn't say that that we were really yearning to have this. We were yearning to and desperate to be in this position. But it is really by the grace of the Lord, how the Lord has really been picking us up over and over, even if we hide. I'm someone who can hide. I hide. I enjoy doing background work.
You are cleaning toilets.
And I enjoyed it meanwhile. I enjoyed it so much. But the Lord keeps on pulling you out. And if the Lord has seen us and has seen us fit maybe for that job, we're like, please give us the grace. And truly, I think about 8 years down the road, 8-9 years down the road, here we are.
Amen. Now that you are, how is it? Did you meet any surprises? Any expectations were met? How has it been for the past 8 years you've been a pastor's wife?
How has it been? It has been here and there. Good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. So I wouldn't say that it has been really a straight upward line. We've met a few challenges. We've met a lot of benefits as well. This role has kept me in check. in check. I'm someone who doesn't want to disappoint people, especially when they have trusted you. I would rather die on the job, but I'll keep on trying and trying. You knock down, but then you rise up and then try again, and then you knock down and then you rise up and then try again and then try again until we are called into maybe something else or the Lord calls us. Twatandika kino ekintu Mukama yatuyita kijja kugwa.
Amina. Amina. And so, how were your early years of marriage as a pastor's wife? Because it wasn't one of the things you dreamed to be. Now you are a pastor's wife. At one point, your husband is a pastor, and then he's a husband. You want to see him as a husband, but then he portrays himself as a pastor. How were your early years of marriage like, being a pastor's wife?
My early years of being a pastor's wife, since in my natural setting, I don't fight so much to be a leader. It was so easy for me to respect my pastor. However much he's your pastor, he's my pastor as well. I don't fight so much to lead. I love pushing people to lead. I think I realized also that it is in my calling. I love pushing people into their destinies. So it was so easy for me to push him into, because for him, leading comes naturally for him. It is so natural for him. He won't have second thoughts. Me, you can tell me, go do this, and like, give me time. He doesn't have to think through it. Like, to get in there. He's that kind of person. So it has been easy for me to just submit to him and give him my full support, because that's also in my natural setting who I am. Letting him lead, supporting him. Where do you want to go? We are going. What do you want to achieve? We are doing this. So it hasn't been really a tough one. That's why I want to caution now pastors' wives. We really do not allow these men to lead. Yes, I understand you might have been called, but there's a difference between you, the pastor, and you being the pastor's wife. We usually try to confuse the two, and then we try to fight one with our leaders, who is your pastor, who is yours or your husband, but also start fighting with the members, because you're fighting so much to be like a pastor. They have ordained us. We must, pastor. We must. And then you find yourself fighting with every Tom and Dick everywhere. Being a pastor's wife is being a pastor's wife. It doesn't mean you are the
pastor.
You are the pastor.
Amina.
You are the pastor. You are there. You are there to push the man of God. Yes. May we stop fighting the leadership of our husbands just because they are husbands. Because, yes, I know we have rights and everything to pull that man down. Tukule. And usually they respect us as the wives. And then we start to pull those kind of ropes. I want to caution us. We are the wives. They are the
pastors.
They are the pastors. The moment you get that balance
and know your position.
And know your position. Similarly, meanwhile, and know your position, that you are the wife of the pastor. You are not the pastor. You will settle a lot of things in your life. That's how I've been able to manage that bit.
I remember for me, now I when I got married and we were in pastors, it took us some time for us to be ordained, but you are in ministry. Now I got a glimpse that one day my husband is going to be a pastor, and I saw us transition into the pastoral role, and it would always disturb me to accept it. And I gave myself to God. I asked God, you know what, help me, give me the grace to be a pastor's wife. I don't know how to be a pastor's wife, because I saw how my husband was. I knew he wasn't going to be an ordinary church member. He was going to be a pastor one day. But when that day comes, please God, have mercy on me. Give me the grace to be a pastor's wife.
And indeed he does.
He really gave me that grace. And so for the 9 years that you've been married, how has ministry taught you the place of being a pastor's wife for all the years you've been married? Like, what has ministry helped you to be as a pastor's wife?
Ministry, first of all, taught us submission as wives. Submission, not only to the husbands in our homes, but also to submit to his ministry. So when you submit at your home and it is easy for you,
it's easier for you.
It is easier for you. Because I usually see mostly pastors' wives in meetings trying to challenge their husband. You're trying to challenge this and the other. You're all over the place. You are the one in charge of the children. You are the one in charge of the welfare. You are the one in charge. It is okay to check in and the other, but this business of trying to rub it in with the people, and you rub it in to just show them that actually I have power. I am the wife. If it also shows a few things that even at home maybe you're not really at par. But ministry has told me to submit to first my husband at home. When it is easy for me at home, definitely I'll submit to him. The submission continues even at church, such that I helped him and also not overstep in whatever he does, and also support him. Sometimes, does he make mistakes? Yes. Sometimes I even see the mistakes way before. When he asks, or when I read the room, I can actually go. When it is private, we talk through it.
Okay.
Or when he asks, we talk through it.
You don't just lash it at him.
You don't just lash it at him in meetings where there are people who he is leading. That's not the right thing. And usually that's what wives usually do. So that has really helped me to respect him at home, because I realize he has so many coats that he wears. One, if you can respect him as a father of your children, as your husband, as the pastor, it is also easy to respect him as a pastor. And I realize that there are so many coats that he wears. When I understand that today he's wearing a pastoral coat, I hold him as a pastor. I sit in a meeting properly. You listen properly. If you need to raise up a thing, I have to raise up my hand like everybody else. If he picks me, I say something. If he doesn't pick me, it passes. So know which coat your husband is wearing at a particular time. There are times when he wears a coat of my friend. When you see us, now we are friends. I understand that he's wearing now a coat of what? A friend. And I enjoy it so much. That is the most coat that I enjoy. We laugh a lot, then we play a lot. So when I read the room, which coat is he wearing? At home, he also sometimes he can wear the pastoral coat.
At home.
At home. No,
wow.
That's
musumba yaliwo.
Kati musumba yaliwo twetereze. Una olumu na yambala coat of being a father. Even if I want to say something, I am is disciplining his children.
He's the father.
He's the father. Even if the children are calling for me, I am listen to your father.
Wow.
Even if I have a different opinion, I will tell him my different opinion. Where? In my bedroom. Hey, okay. Then not in front of his children.
Yes.
Yeah. So when
I think it's a really good thing to strike and understand. This time, my husband is not being a husband, he's being a pastor.
Yes.
You know, because it stops a lot of familiarity.
Yes.
Where you would have behaved as a wife, you're now behaving as someone different who he doesn't understand.
Know how many coats your husband wears.
That's interesting. And ministry comes with demands. Being a pastor, people will come, pastor, we need this. You are our pastor. We need this. And how have you kept your marriage strong amidst the demands of ministry?
Amidst the demands of ministry. How have we? Well, one thing that the Lord has helped us in our marriage, we are one unit. Believers, some of the believers are, what is the word? I don't want to.
I will not say because I don't know.
They play games. You believers who are listening to me, you play games. You play games. A believer can come to you and ask for a 10,000.
Okay.
A 10,000 from you. No, Mugamba, I'm going to get back to you. Maybe, or you give them the 10,000. And then he goes to your husband and he asks for the same 10,000.
Interesting.
You don't know that actually at our home we are having a discussion about, as we are giving ourselves accountability and everything. So and so I gave him 100K because I couldn't talk to you at that particular moment. I thought it was urgent. And then I tell him, but I also gave him the same money. Ani aswala.
Believer. Nani believer tweddeko.
Muli babi nnyo olumu. So that bit of unity, it will save you from a lot of stuff.
Wow.
Unity, we are one, we discuss things, whether ministry, whether personal, whether business, whether work, whether children, that bit of unity. It has helped us, because most believers, where the devil gets us is the disunity. When there is disunity, my wife did this, your husband did this, the moment you're not having a discussion and there's disunity in everything, that's where now the devil enters. And he will use that to turn even yourselves, to turn against yourselves.
And where the demands of ministry come in and you have to input your monies, especially for events, or you have to put in your time, how has it helped you keep in bond and you're not so much taken up by ministry? Because for some good time, or yourself, and yet you have something, maybe like you have to keep this bond despite the demands of ministry.
One, what you usually do when it comes to finances, we have percentages. We have percentages that go to one ministry, that go to investment, that go to my husband, the money that I don't question for him. He just sits there and he will splash the way he wants. The money that comes to me, he doesn't question, he doesn't do it. I will splash it the way I want to. The money that goes to the children, the money that goes to maybe saving. So in all those facets, we put in money. And they mean the money for helps. When the lot for helps is done, it is done. We wait for another lot that will come in and fill in that lot of helps. When the money for ministry is done, it's what? It's done. Even if the money for our vacation is still there and we are planning for it, we are not touching it.
Wow, it's an interesting one.
We are not touching it. We are going for that vacation unapologetically. Because we've been faithful to even the way we pay our tithers faithfully is the way we pay for the helps, the money for helps faithfully is the way we pay for our ministry money faithfully is the way we pay for ourselves faithfully is the way we pay for our vacations faithfully.
Wow,
that has really helped us. But then now the bonding time, we sat and talked about how we want to run a family, and we realized, one, we want to pick the children. We don't want to have them in boarding. I asked him, how do we achieve this? Because one thing that really disturbs believers, we leave everything open. Everything that comes in, comes in. Everything that goes out, goes out. The moment you sit down, how do you want to run your family? It is a call for all believers. Sit down and discuss. How do you want to run your life? Even if you're single, even if you're married, how do you want to run your life? What are your day-to-day activities? So we sat down, discussed, how do we want to run our lives? Like this, like this, like this. I asked him, how can we achieve this? So one of the things that we sat down and did, there are a lot of things in the background, but I'll just share. For example, how we run our week. We subdivided our week. For example, Pastor Mabirizi is in charge of Monday, for example, in picking children and taking them to their extracurricular activities. Most times you won't catch me on Monday doing those activities. On Tuesday and Wednesdays, it is my activity. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it is his. You realize he has so many days of the week more than me. It is intentional. Because we wanted to stay in the lives of our children, and is the one who is usually most times in ministry, and also his kind of job, it requires him to travel a lot. So if I take most of the days, you realize I also take up his days when he's away. Yes. But the moment he's available, he's happy to take on most of the days of the week. So that's how we balanced it up. Whenever he's around, he's taking most days of the week. He's picking the children. Is in their lives to know how they are, not the mommy, because children get used to that mommy thing a lot because we spend most of the time with them unknowingly. But if you deliberately create time, they need that voice of a man in them. Well, sometimes my husband would complain when until you give him that is the one in charge of the children. And then you're thinking, what's going on? Like, hey, that's part of the package when you're with the children.
Interesting. In case you've just tuned in, she has taught us a lot. She has told us how she is so different from other pastors' wives, you know. Sometimes we do think that every pastor's wife is the same, but today we have a different pastor's wife. And now we want to get into the real talk of her office as a pastor's wife. So, Pastor Rita, what is that one thing that you experienced that tested your faith as a pastor's wife, and how did God carry you through it?
Something that tested my faith. I wouldn't say that it is something that really, there are things that it is a heavy question of testing your faith. And I would say maybe a few challenges here and there.
Okay.
A few challenges here and there, a few disappointments in life or even in ministry. But I wouldn't say that they would test my faith so much that I'm at the verge of, you know what, I'm giving up. So I would share a few, one or two disappointments or challenges or yeah. One of the some of the encounters that I've seen at church that believers usually do to us. You might talk to a believer properly, you're there laughing day in, day out, only for them to wake up to report you to your husband.
Interesting.
They wake up and they report you to your husband. But you've been with me. We've been talking. We've been discussing. You're telling me it is well. Only for you, maybe I've done, because we are humans, we really err. Maybe I've done something that is not right to you. Instead of telling the person who has done something, I'm not aware at all. Mutunga dusi. Misinde na kulope wo mwami wo. I'm here to tell you that my husband is also stubborn. He will call you. If you expected also you to just report and say whatever you wanted to say, and then off you run, and then maybe you wanted my husband to sit me down or to just give me lashes, I don't know. He will call me. And on several occasions, sometimes it is a one-on-one, sometimes it's later or something. And then I'm thinking, believer,
I gave you my time.
I gave you my time. It is me who erred you. Let me know. Be open and let me know what I've done to you. Where are you running to? My husband. Where are you running to? Bishop? Where we have that tendency of, I don't know if you are trying to make ourselves look holy or wanted or what?
The man of God.
Before the man of God. Stop it. Bad manners. If someone has erred you, talk to them. Unless the issue has really been not aired out, and then you go to higher authority. But someone has done something as little. Meanwhile, usually they are as little as you know it. And someone is 1, 2, 3. Just because we've given you access to our husbands, it doesn't call for abuse.
Wow, disappointments can come through in different ways, in different forms, and I would like to know, or you tell our viewers out there, that one challenging season you had in your life as a pastor's wife, and how did you navigate through it in the place of ministry or in your family, like that one season, challenging season that you've ever gone through to help someone out there listening to us right now?
I think the most challenging one that I can remember is when I'm expecting, when I'm pregnant, literally sick throughout the pregnancies. I'm either throwing up, I'm full of nausea, I'm full of this. I'm not stable
Your
at all.
hormones are running,
They are running over and over. I can even, my sense of smell is up those ends. One, it is challenging to come to church because now we are in a congregation of a lot of people. I'm mixing different scents and smells. It makes me puke. And then it tells me that sometimes I have to keep away for some time. But then that keep away, when you show up, where have you been? You deserted church. It looks like you. It looks those questions.
You know, Pastor Rita, we've seen pastors' wives, some, when they've come into this experience, because it's motherhood and our hormones really act differently. Some tend to really disappear and they never come back. Like they take forever until the child maybe is grown, and you'd never get to know what happened in between there. So having gone through that experience, because it's what you're telling us, how did you manage to come back and show face in church? Because some tend to go low because they are not in the place of high ministry. Maybe they're not on the pulpit showing face or what. And we know these are pastors' wives, but they are now being mothers. So how do you always come back?
How do I always come back? In my moments of low, my husband is high.
Oh, wow.
That's why we need support. He really supported me so much. There are days he could see that I can't even get up. He's like, you know what? Stay home. There are days he realized that at least you can do a little push of first service. Can we do this? And then he arranges my way, a way of me returning back home after first service. And for him, he might stay. But there are days when both of us have to stay home. It's like, you know what? At this state, my wife cannot stay at home alone. I'm going to stay. He will call in. You know what? I cannot come to church because of this and the other.
Accounting. So,
accounting. So we juggle different seasons of that
expecting.
Of that period of expectation. There are days when you cannot even rise up. You're totally sick and down, especially in the first trimesters. The third, I tried call a little bit. That's when I was showing face here and there. But the first trimester, I wasn't even lifting my finger. You could wake up, cook something, and you could find it the way it is. Or if I try, there is a huge basin there, I'm just throwing up non-stop. So in those seasons when I was completely down, he could support me, we were home. In the seasons when I could try for one service. Because usually we decided as a family we are doing 3 services on Sunday. But when I'm expecting, you might find that I'm doing even one when I've really tried. But there are days when you wake up, you're really stronger, you can even push for 3 services. So that liberty that he gave me and supported me, gave me a chance to even push further and further. That's why I commend dear husbands, please support these wives, especially when they're expecting, or when other people might be in other different things that are challenging them. It's not really pregnancy. Sometimes it's a traveling wife because of a job. Sometimes it's a different thing. May we support that we don't even realize that this other person is not around. Because as me, I'm challenging with my pregnancy stories. For him, he's challenged with him being away. Most of the time, he's actually away. Some people don't even realize because I'm stepping in. I'm stepping in and supporting him. We have different setbacks at different times. Since we are one, may we support each other as one. When the other one is low, you go high. When the other one is high, you go.
Pastor Rita, this is a bit personal. How have you ever experienced loss? Loss as you and your family maybe, and because I remember there is a time I experienced loss of a child. I had a miscarriage, and it really drew me. It questioned my faith. Like, God, why I really expected this to happen. And I remember after some time when we went through that with my husband, he told me, he was in prayer one day and God showed him that pregnancy was actually going to cost either my life or the life of a child that I was carrying then. And so it affirmed me to know that God really knows what I am going through. So he has better plans for me. And I really stood in that place. So tell us if for that moment that you've ever been through, to encourage someone out there listening to us.
Yeah, I've actually ever encountered something kind of similar to you. Hopefully you have the time. I've ever lost a middle child. I have 2 children. Most of you know them.
Yes.
They're the ones you know. But there was a middle child in between there.
Yes.
There was a time I walked into Bishop's office and he told me, Mabirizi, you're expecting. I was like, I'm not expecting. Go check yourself, by the way. Suddenly, I started feeling funny. So when I went to the hospital, indeed, I was expecting. I didn't know that I was expecting. And then we started the antenatals. On starting the antenatals, usually, since my husband, I told you that he usually travels in and out, we set our antenatals in the times when he's back.
He's around.
And however much you see him always preaching, always traveling, and in there, he has never missed an antenatal. Because even then, I extend even grace, I understand his kind of
work and
schedules. So we also schedule our antenatals around his schedules. So that particular moment, after checking me and everything, he travels to, I think, South Africa. At that, and then after his travel, I start feeling funny and bleeding. I called my gyne, and then I tell him about that. And then he gives me some medication to start taking, and then bed rest, because it's not a good sign to bleed while expecting. And then it stopped at some point. And then secondly, later the bleeding starts to show again. I was like, you know what, I need to check into the hospital. When I checked into the hospital, we went straight into an emergency.
Wow.
I drove myself properly. I was feeling as if, of course, unwell, but it wasn't, I wasn't thinking that it was going to escalate into an emergency. So they tell me, after a lot of here and there's that I will not go through because of the time, they tell me that it is an ectopic, and not this usual ectopic of around the reproductive system. I had conceived this child in the stomach.
Wow.
Not in the womb.
Wow.
My husband is not home. I have a little child. I think Rohi then was maybe 2 years-ish. I'm there in the hospital alone. I don't understand this thing. I'm asking the doctor, what's happening? What do you mean? And then Bishop had told me that you're actually carrying a boy. So, and I really wanted to even also carry a boy on my next child. Alas, I signed my documents alone, all by myself, and off.
Wow.
Off to the theater.
Wow.
The guy had called me. You call one person. Of course, I called one person as he was already on his way. I asked for a second person, who is my husband. He's the one who talked to him. He was really disturbed, but I encouraged him in the Lord. Like, you know what? Because he also told me this is an emergency. In any case, something happens, they will arrest the hospital. Because of the time we are trying to buy time, we need to really work on you like as soon as possible. That's how I lost that child.
Sorry.
I left that hospital, you know, with a lot of pain, but with empty arms. Empty.
Sorry.
Empty. It was really so saddening. But then I encouraged myself in the Lord, because really people were supportive. I had friends here and there. And I encouraged myself in the Lord. As I was still thinking through it, how can this prophecy just slip out of my hands just like that? How? And then I had taken about a few weeks away from church, and even members didn't realize. The very first day I turned up at church, Jose was looking for a leader to lead November Blessing. I'm from my theater business. I'm from my pain business. The members picked me.
Interesting.
The members picked me to lead November Blessing. And November Blessing is not just those conferences. It's a huge one for the entire ministry.
Yes.
Like, oh God. Bishop gave me this eye because he knew what was happening. He called me up on the pulpit. Then he whispered, "It is well. It is well. We shall support you." I'm like, okay. Then I heard another voice after him whispering. Rita, ask for anything.
Mm.
The moment you accept this, ask for anything. I remembered my child. I'm calling back my child.
Amen.
I called him back. It might sound crazy for you, to you, but this is what happened. I called back my boy. And alas, next year, meanwhile, I had that surgery, like towards November blessing of that other year. Then the next year, I conceived. And I gave birth in November blessing of that other year to that boy.
Amen.
And then the most interesting, because this testimony spilled over to other people. As I was still there nursing my child, I had taken a few months of mourning and feeling baddish, disappointment. And then the Lord did that miracle.
Amen.
As I was still there in that moment of celebrating my miracle, someone sent another believer to me. There's someone who I think you will talk to. This person had a similar situation. This person lost her daughter.
Oh dear.
She had told me about it. And then I shared my story. Do you know what? You can call back this child. Are you for real? How can these things happen? Then I shared my story. When I shared my story, it was about, we were in the last meetings that we usually have after Christmas. That's when I shared this story to this other person. Can you believe that this person conceived and it was a daughter?
Wow.
And he gave birth to the date of the previous daughter that she gave birth to.
Wow. God is amazing.
She had taken 3 or 2 years, I remember. And she's a church member. Maybe one day she'll talk about it. Bishop, I think, is aware. That's how amazing our Lord is.
Wow.
That's how amazing. She gave birth on the birthday of that other girl
that she lost.
The same birthday, and was a girl. You can call back that same sex. She literally wanted to name that the same names. I was like, you know what? Go ask Muzei about that other naming. I'm not sure. Because the other person had already been created. Maybe you go consult now the elders, the more people who. So that's how this other miracle spilled over to the other gundi, to the other people. You may mourn, and the Lord will wait for you for as long as, for there's so many years that you want to mourn. But there's also another way of shortening your mourning.
That's true. And personally, I remember I did that mourning bit, but when my husband told me about that word he got from the Lord, I was awakened up like God knows what I'm going through. And it was actually a November blessing when I also made a prayer of God restore me. I gave myself into serving that season of November blessing. And there's a word that Bishop told me that mchala bijeje wano wendi nkwagaliza balongo. And for me, I took it up as an answered prayer at that moment, because it's what I was actually asking God for in that season. So eventually, in the following November blessing season, in November, I actually gave birth to a daughter as well. So that is true about God. Thank you so much for sharing your testimony.
It's not the end of, the Bible tells us that in this world we have so many tribulations, but
be of good cheer.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. So now we have church members who have expectations of Muchala Musumba should always dress up like this, should maybe do this. And sometimes you are misunderstood with the way you conduct yourself. How do you navigate through those pressures, the expectations, the misunderstandings from the church?
Personally, I don't take in pressures, external pressures, especially if I check in my Bible and I'm okay. You deal with yourself.
Okay.
You deal with yourself, believer. If I'm decent, if the trousers have not killed anyone, if my hair is on my head, why are you getting mad? Because one thing I know about the world, it will always have a comment.
And a standard.
And a standard.
Yes.
If I've drawn my standard and my husband is okay,
that is fine with you.
That is fine with you. Especially I check in with him. Sometimes he'll actually make me remove it. Choose same. And I remove it. But the moment he gives me green light, I'm gonna better fine.
Now, interesting. So there are these church members who come up and they want to serve the man of God and mama tetukulabawo, or maybe they like you and they don't like your husband. How do you handle such people? Musumba ye musumba. With you, you're like, they're like, mama jai.
You've relieved my I'm always looking after this man, and it is a huge job. If you want to look after him, gladly look after him. If you don't want to look after me, I can look after myself. I have arms, I have legs, I know what I want. And most times you even don't even, they want to help for the sake of helping. You don't even take the initiative to understand, what does this person want? Nenga to take in the initiative of wanting to know what this person really wants. No mufira kunomuletera akatogo natakalia, and then you feel bad. I'm giving you wisdom for free.
Omugulide ngato jataturuka muto mubuziza size jayamba. If
you want to get thanks. Meanwhile, we have corners. You can cut corners through us, the wives. Now you want to do your things, I let you do your things in peace. So gladly, because you also relieved me some of my work. If you want to look after him,
it's okay.
It's okay. I have him at my home all by myself. Anytime, any day. If you want to look after me,
it's okay.
It's okay. If you don't want to look after me, I'm comfortable where I am. And I can look after myself way better than you. But if you want to be kind to me, I receive the kindness. If you don't want to be kind, and you want to be unkind, unfortunately, I don't receive the unkindness. I walk away. I don't know how to be in an unhappy state. I walk away gladly.
Now, as you are drawing to a conclusion, what's your advice to a young pastor's wife out there, or a young lady with a dream of being a pastor's wife, and this pastor's wife is unseen and she doesn't know how to go about it? What is your advice to this pastor's wife out there?
I think we should not impose our kind of love, our wanting so much to be loved by people. Love and everything comes from inside out. If you're full from the within, you will not be really fighting so much to be accepted, to be loved, to be, you know what? And you want to so much to first love yourself as much as possible. You're married to this man. You don't have to fight for him. Yes. He's actually yours. You don't have to accept his love the way it is. But then again, understand his calling. When it's time for him to, you also don't have to fight for that. You let him lead the people. When it's time for the court of the wife, you also be the wife.
Enjoy the chambers.
Enjoy the chambers. Don't even bring in the other courts again. Enjoy the chambers.
It's interesting how pastors always bring in the church business into homes. Anyway, there's a young lady watching us, and she has a dream of being a pastor's wife. You may not have had that dream, or you've always wanted to be a pastor's wife. What are your parting shots to this young lady who is watching and she really wants to be a pastor's wife?
People are out there dying to be pastor's wives.
Yes.
I didn't know. I didn't know. May the grace of the Lord and the Holy Spirit help you. And the Holy Spirit, sincerely, may the Lord really help you. We have dreams and aspirations. The Lord will give you the grace. The Lord will carry us. But then you might find that there are people who are generally happy to just be
a pastor's wife.
Please enjoy that. It is okay and it is allowed. There are people who just enjoy being mothers and stay at home
their husbands.
Wives and serving. Be glad and be happy. Don't attack some of us. Because we've not also attacked you. Some of us, we enjoy being the wives, we enjoy being the mothers, we enjoy being entrepreneurs, we enjoy being maybe the wives as well. and also the pastors' wives. If you can wear all those coats perfectly well, please go ahead. Nothing is stopping you. The sky is only the what?
The limit.
The limit.
Thank you so much, Pastor Rita, for this inspiring and insightful conversation. Thank you so much for tuning in today for our episode of The Vicar's Wife. We've learned so much that we are all different despite our callings of being pastor's wife. You has a dream to be a pastor's wife. Welcome aboard. Whichever dreams you are, let the Lord lead you in it all. Till next time, this has been The Vicar's Wife. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.